I'm Coach Antoine.
Hey, and I'm Danielle. And we are marriage and relationship coaches.
You know, one of the questions that we get all the time is that, why doesn't my spouse love me anymore? And the reason that that's a very good question is because your spouse doesn't love themselves. They have to first love themselves in order to love you.
And the prerequisite to that is first loving God. Because scripture identifies the proper order that we are filled up to receive love that we can then pour out. A lot of times people are pouring out love from a place of pain and hurt, despair, frustration. So there's really no reciprocation of love. So then guess what? If somebody who is struggling to be loving isn't filled up with the love of God first, who then helps them to pour the love into themselves, and then it pours into others, then there's no way for that to be a continual if there's no continual flow of love being passed on. And so we just want to make sure that you first identify what true love is. And God has identified that in 1 Corinthians 13, verse 4 through 8. He gives us the scripture. Love is kind and patient. Love is not rude. Love is not angry. Love does not point fingers. Like, I'm summarizing, but read that scripture. 1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 8. That will help you to identify whether or not you are really receiving love and whether or not you're truly giving love. Because there's a misconception in all of it. And so you may be saying, why didn't my husband love me? Why doesn't my wife love me? I had the same question. And I said, Lord, how come my husband doesn't love me the way I want him to? How come he's not, filling me up? And God simply said, because he does not have the love of God pouring into him, that is pouring into himself, that is able to then pass on to you. So I took a step back to realize that until he was filled up, then the overflow wouldn't come to me. So then I was just patient working with the Lord to allow God to fill up my cup so that I could love myself, love others, and then be able to be in a position to receive the love as my husband in God's perfect timing filled him up. So if you enjoyed this message, please please share for additional tips and thoughts and feedback that we're going to share. And share it with your family, your friends, and your church. Let's keep the message of positivity going. Marriage is powerful. Marriage is good. And God has ordained it to be so.